the life force of your bond. A power like light itself, unseen for generations. A dyad in the force.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dyad in the Force, episode 136. The one about Yoda. And the one about, from a certain point of view, Return of the Jedi. We're still working our way through the book. But there are a couple of stories in there that are exciting.
Working our way through the book, reading lots. I ran out of stuff to say. I'm sorry.
And I'm homebound. I don't think that changes, right? What up, Jedi Historian? You're here first, and probably the only one here first. It's a slow week. Slow, well, it hasn't been a slow week, but in terms of, like, content creation and all that good stuff, slow week. Slow month in the larger scheme of things, but we're happy to just hang out, you know?
Yeah, hang out, play games with y'all and just talk about whatever. I will say, man, there's some cool things going on in Destiny. I jumped in for the beginning of the new season, and I was actually surprised with how fun this Spire thing is.
Is there any element of mandatory involved in the Spire?
I mean, mandatory for progressing the current storyline that's going to continue up into the final shape. Yes, but it seems like they're trying to reduce the amount of things that are mandatory and reduce any pay to play to win aspects of it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just enjoying it.
I'm just voicing my concern about what we in the Warcraft community call the Tower of Torghast mechanic. And this was something that when it came out, it was very much a required thing to do weekly in order for you to participate in the raids and endgame. So, like, if people didn't do it, they couldn't do the raid that week. So it became a job. Especially for people coming back, it was like, wait, why do I gotta do this all the time, And essentially it was their way of releasing an activity and trying to elicit engagement in the activity. But all it was is like, oh, climb like 50 floors and kill this certain amount of enemies and use this tower key every week, and then you can get to the raid. So I'm concerned about that fact, but
I haven't experienced that yet, but I only hopped in and played a few rounds, so don't know yet. We could go that route.
How's it going, Jedi Historian? It's okay. I'm down to talk Yoda. Absolutely. Kenny, what's going on, man? We'll be talking about Yoda if you've been reading the Yoda comics. And then, of course, if, I don't think from a certain point of view is out yet. But we'll be talking about some conceptual things from there. What's up, Charlie Johnson?
Nice to see you.
I'm still working my way through the Underdark in Baldur's Gate. Nice. Baldur's Gate is on everybody's minds.
And Pep, whereabouts for Charlie? Wait a second. Never mind. I mixed up my Charlies.
All right. Is there correct Charlie?
No, well, I was going to ask where you were in the Viking anime.
Not that far actually. I think I'm on episode 6.
Okay.
Vinland Saga. Are you sure that's the wrong Charlie?
Charles. That's
Olsen,
Charles
right?
J. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not too far.
We don't like Charles.
It has been rough trying to get past Thorfinn's stupid ass. Just that's a full stop sentence. I was going to elaborate, but no, it's just he's I mean, it's kid,
Right now
fine.
he's kind of a little bitch. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like it gets better.
I'm forgiving of it, but it's hard to be like, man, come on. You wanted to go into this is what it is. As far as Baldur's Gate, I'm on my quote unquote third run of it, second and third simultaneously, although I'm finding I might not have to run my third one simply because this second playthrough has been about switching side chicks, and it looks like I'll be able to pursue Lae'zel and Shadowheart at the same time. So it's on that save file for now, but when people start to draw lines, that's when I'm gonna have to diverge save files. But like,
Yeah.
so far I was surprised because I started off literally with the full intent of going for Lae'zel, and then Shadowheart was like, I really like you, and I'm like, well, okay, I'll just.
Hey man, this ain't Mass Effect. It doesn't necessarily close out. No, I will say there was a voice line of and hopefully this isn't too much of a spoiler, but I can tell you the voice line of "You've gone too far" on one. Would you like to know what it is?
On one, which on one character?
You've gone too far with Lae'zel, and you've locked yourself out of Shadowheart.
Yeah, give me that line.
Shadowheart says, It's nice to see you so happy. I just I regret that you aren't smiling about me.
Okay, she hasn't said anything about that. So far, I've only done the deed twice with Lae'zel. But also after that, we shared the wine. Me and Shadowheart shared wine, so it's I don't think I'm too far.
Oh yeah, no, you're not out of it for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely again. I was playing it with the intent of kind of creating diverging save paths. So whenever that does happen, I'll be sure to save a different one for Shadowheart. But I am interested to see because, a lot of people online are complaining about Lae'zel and being oh, she's such a bitch, and
Oh no! Once you crack through that outer shell, I mean, before she's rough. Actually, literally, after you sleep with her, it's every part of your body hurts, even your tongue, and you're like, God damn, what'd you do?
But some of these people the voice actress actually started doing TikToks responding to mean tweets with Lae'zel's voice and using it. There's actually a tiny nose filter, and one of the tweets was
sub into that immediately.
Yeah, I sent a link to you.
Did I miss it?
It was right before the Cal sent final shape. Her TikTok is Devora, and her most popular one is reading mean tweets as Lae'zel.
Oh, today, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the tweets was like, Lae'zel is like is the TV show equivalent of it gets better after season 4, and I'm just like, well, dude, if you know anything about character development, of course, it's not gonna be like she's not gonna come out and you be like, I love you, I'll be nice to you. It's like she's literally got motivations to be the way she is, and so that's why I was telling Choco in my first playthrough, I was like, man, where we're at in this story, like Lae'zel giving me the puppy dog eyes, and I'm just like, you different, but I love you now. How's it going, Marianne?
Greetings, Marianne.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We do have a plan for today's show, but we are kind of just
we're winging it a bit to begin with.
Also,
I will say, I was playing it while watching the D&D movie, Honor and Thieves, and maybe we could play Pictionary.
yeah, absolutely.
And like now I understand a lot more about that movie. There's tons that I just didn't get before, and
That's interesting.
it's cool.
I should probably
Because it's all
watch it again.
within the actual D&D 5e universe, and so like
What
the
did
rich
you...
people are coming from Waterdeep, and every spell is an actual spell. Like I just didn't have all the stuff down.
Yeah, so like, give me an example of something that like, as soon as you saw it again, you're like, oh.
Why everyone was apprehensive about the Paladin dude? It's because he was from Thay, and was affected by the Necromancers of Thay, which is, the book that I was cursed by, and so, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't trust people from Thay either. That makes sense.
It was I didn't make this connection as I was playing Baldur's Gate, but as soon as like, I think it was like the tail end of Act 2, I was like, oh, these guys are Harpers.
Yeah.
And I've completely missed that connection to Chris
Same.
Pine's character. Jedi Historian says best written companion characters in a long time. Absolutely. Like, I usually so using Mass Effect as an example, I typically only have 2 choices to romance, and that was Tally and Jack. In this one, sometimes in Baldur's Gate, sometimes I wanna be like, all right, for everyone.
Some of them are cool with that, though.
Some of them are cool with that. Asterion
Shadowheart is
especially,
not.
Asterion especially is like one of those people where you're like, I could, and then when you don't, and he's like, oh, darling, I'm like, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to get with the one that I chose. I think for me the most awkward one was Gale. Not to spoil anything, but it just like
Gale is
all of a sudden,
very into, yeah. I'm currently romancing Gale.
Even more so out of nowhere was Halson. I was like, I never talked to you, dude. Out of like the 20 days that I'm resting, I never talked to you. And then like the one time I talked to him, he's like, and I'm like, no. I mean, I get it. You've been in camp for like 20 nights, but at the same time, we still just met, according to our dialogue history. I'm still in the beginning of Baldur's Gate 3. I want to stream it, but I don't feel like censoring it for Twitch. I will say this, Dave. It's not really... So the only thing you'd be censoring is body parts. And then afterwards, it kind of just like it doesn't really go further than that. If you're thinking that like, you know, some of the heat, so that some of the intimacy might get ludicrous or gratuitous, but it doesn't. And I hope I didn't like.
I mean, I will say it does go pretty far with Minthara specifically.
I mean, I can imagine
God
the evil playthroughs.
Damn.
Now does it have like? All right, so picture your first time with Lae'zel. Does it go further than that?
Yeah, like 5 times further, and it's a lot longer.
I mean, I didn't really need to know that, but oh, you meant the length of the encounter. How's it going, Young? The clips I've been seeing on TikTok are fucking wild. I'm sure there are.
It's true. It's true.
And I'm pretty sure.
But also, you get to choose.
One of the clips you saw involved a big ogre and a bugbear. What were you gonna say?
I'm just laughing thinking about, you know, when you do something, you come back to camp, and then me and Cal are just 2 dragons naked. It's like, standing there like, ah.
Yeah, I mean, also, that was in the patch notes.
Yeah.
They said they fixed
the height thing, yeah. And Devil. But everyone's playthrough is different. I may or may not have banged Mr. Octopus Man, so that's on me.
I didn't. Again, Choco's the flirt option always. For me, it's inner turmoil. It's like I want to entertain this Lae'zel, but I'm with Shadowheart right now. And then like in my first playthrough, Shadowheart bugged out, so I was like, I had absolutely zero closure and zero like quote unquote.
What he's saying is Pep is bricked up.
Not currently. But like there was no return on investment emotionally with Shadowheart on the first playthrough because of the bug. So this playthrough, this new one that I am going through, I am trying to pursue one as far as it can go and then create a diverging save file so that I can do both at different times. But also, like, again, we were talking about the characters that like the character work in this game is so good that you kind of want to like entertain everyone. Karlach is another one that I wanted to really
the character I'm playing as was literally called the Dark Urge. Like I'm just playing in character, you know.
That's true. No, but that's the thing. It's all in character for me to kind of have him inner turmoil, you know.
Yeah.
Let loose, Pep. Have your slut era. All right. That still doesn't mean I'm gonna hook up with Octopus Man. That's totally something for a dark urge, and I do not have dark urges.
It was, oh man, yeah. Never mind.
Why are people about the white-haired elf man who sounds like a much whinier version of Prince Charming?
You just have to play it to get it, but like when you play it, you do get it, you know.
Yeah, it's something you have to have been there. Because like if you watch clips of each character out of context, there's just not really saying much. But like the person who does Astarion's voice has a lot of charisma, like in their line delivery. And then the person who did Astarion's art also with like facial expressions. Maybe Maybe I'm just like, the truth of it is that I would definitely fall for a vampire's wiles.
What's funny is like my regular playthrough, he was not in my party like almost ever, and I didn't talk to him, and so I woke up in the middle of the night and he was trying to bite my neck, and I was like, all right.
Interesting. Young, when it comes out on PlayStation, you're gonna have to give it a try because I don't know. Asterion doesn't come out as whiny to me. Although when you refuse his advances, it becomes whiny. But very much a charismatic dude. This is an interesting line of discussion we've fallen into.
Yeah, no, we have gone too far. Star Wars though, Star Wars is good. Yeah, you like Star Wars?
Particularly Return of the Jedi. It's the 40th year, and they released From a Certain Point of View. It's not out yet, but I wanted to kind of poke Choco.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Young's comment.
Cherry flavor. Want to taste. More nasally.
You're not wrong. It's just it hurts. It's gross.
Cherry flavor. Want to taste. Want to taste. I don't know if it's nasally. But Choco, I wanted to poke your brain a little bit about an interesting story in From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi. Like of the things you've read so far. And we're remaining spoiler free on this one.
Everyone got to really stretch their creative muscles on this book. So I really like interesting methods of telling the story. So the most recent, I guess not most recent one, but the one I read fairly recently is, it starts with the moment of the character's death, and they're a minor character, but it slowly works backwards, an hour, 2 hours, a couple days, from this time period. And as their story shapes, you get to find out who this person is, why they are the way that they are, how they ended up in the Empire, and if that was their true calling. And it was just really like not Tarantino. Who's the guy who did Swordfish?
Swordfish? That's a deep cut. I was about to say Paul Oakenfold. Well, yeah, he did. He did the soundtrack for it, but
I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. But people who like to tell stories in reverse, I just thought it was really captivating the way that story was told.
Oh, you're talking like Memento, right?
Well, Memento, like the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning, and like. American Beauty? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Dominic Senna did Swordfish.
Well, he's not who I was talking about, so never mind.
We
don't have to worry about it.
Well, now I'm now I'm eternally curious.
I'll have to look it up, and I'll let you know. We can keep going though.
All right. Well, obviously there's an obvious story in the From a Certain Point of View called Brotherhood by Mike Chen. Not to be confused by Brotherhood by Mike Chen, the book. that's obvious. It's a story about how Anakin learns how to be a Force ghost. So that was very interesting. I thought that was tastefully done. There's the other story I wanted to mention was I forgot the title of it, but it's about EV-88 while in Jabba's palace, and it's an interesting story because that's not someone that I thought about wanting to read a story about, and it was interesting to me, much more so because I listen to the audiobooks as I read them on the Kindle. R2 has a voice. And it's weird. I mean, I guess it's weird because I'm listening to it at 3x, but at the same time it's like you don't expect that. It's like so like if you imagine in Return of the Jedi, R2 and C-3PO go to EV-88 to kind of like check in and get their assignments and stuff, and then like that droid is like, what do you do? And then like and then R2 beeps and stuff. You don't imagine him going like, I have a mission. My master's here. He's gonna free us.
Thanks, I hate it.
But I mean, I don't think that's his obvious voice, that people understand in binary. That's just the audiobook. But the audiobook is advertised as fully cast. So I'm wondering if that is actually R2's voice.
Well, I mean, it would make sense since, droids like R2 and BB-8 are written with dialogue, and then the dialogue is replaced with beeps.
That's true.
I mean, we got to see that again recently. Not that we'll talk about it, but there were some very obvious statements made in beep form.
Well, the only safe thing I can say about that is whoop, whoop.
By the way, I took that as like him raising the roof, like. Yeah.
Let's see here. Connor says, all about Yoda. Can I talk about the comic? Yes, we can talk about the comic. We'll be talking about some of the comic as well. I'll go first. Yes, the last issue is crazy, but I think the issue before that, just because I'm a Last Jedi fan, the issue before that, issue 9, is something special. And primarily it has to do with how Yoda treats Anakin. And I love to see these moments between Yoda and Anakin where it kind of puts to bed that Yoda was largely ambivalent to Anakin.
Yeah.
He does his best to put Anakin in a position where he could put his best foot forward as a teacher. And it's such a wonderful situation too, because Yoda is capable of doing what Satele Shan can do, and doing a barrier that helps him, but he's just like, I'm just gonna die if he doesn't do it. And of course the end of that issue, without spoiling it, it's like Last Jedi, what Luke says about, I came here to die, and the galaxy's better off without me. He really did learn a lot from Yoda. But that's a great issue from the Yoda run. I absolutely love it when he has moments with Anakin, and of course learning more about more nuance around his exile on Dagobah.
Absolutely. I mean, we get into this habit of looking at the growth and character development of our primary character, of our Obi-Wan and of our Anakins, and we can look at characters like Yoda or Mace Windu and being like, you know, cast this like light on them as if that character is meant to be perfect. So like we can acknowledge the flaws of our point of view characters in that there are things that they're overcoming, but struggle to acknowledge that there's flaws in Yoda that he's overcoming, and there's flaws in Mace Windu and he's overcoming, and all of these people are just people, you know?
Mace is dead.
Well, yes, he's a big brown and red puddle on the Coruscant sidewalk, or was until swept up. But yeah, after before that, but Yoda has his own growth arc, and he's learning stuff, and it's funny because it makes so much sense that Luke didn't. He only like took on the glitz and glamour and the victories of the Jedi, but he didn't spend time learning about their failure or their weaknesses. And of course, if you don't learn about that stuff, you're doomed to repeat it. I know. Yeah. It was beautiful.
To bring up another issue from the mainline comic run, when Luke meets I was about to say Ezra because I read it in the chat. He meets Elzar, and that is also a special issue because it's kind of like the same thing, you know. He's trying to teach Luke about all of this stuff, but not necessarily the best candidate in the best time period to learn from, because they're largely, shall I say, not free from flaw, but they're largely on the right path at the like, not the right path because obviously it leads to the prequels, but they are, to bring back the Yoda comic, they are unhindered by Palpatine's machinations.
Yes. Also, just because it leads to the prequels doesn't necessarily mean they're on the wrong path. They are responding to certain things, stimuli that force certain things, but yeah. I wouldn't say it's their trajectory. But yeah, for anyone in chat, I highly recommend picking up these Yoda comics. It was 3 arcs, and then the final episode ties in all 3 of the past, arcs, and they're all incredible. It makes me hate Dooku more.
Go ahead, talk about it real quick.
Dooku is such a dick. Okay, so we know that the future is always in motion, right? And because of this, the future becomes an unreliable. Visions of the future are unreliable things in the world of Star Wars. You should take notice of them, you be aware of them, but it's not something you can guide your life by, because you're getting a glimpse of a moment and you don't know the context or anything about it. And we saw Anakin specifically, create his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. And in this, we have a Padawan who has visions. And again, Dooku, being close friends with Sifo Dyad, has seen this before, and he tells him, "Don't talk to Yoda about this, because Yoda will tell you not to act on your visions." And it's just a bad idea. You're telling a teenager, yeah, you shouldn't talk to anyone about what you're going through. Just let it fester until it explodes. Is largely it. I don't know. It really brings in the focus in Dooku Jedi Lost when Yoda was like, "If you had told me, I would have helped you." We've never seen Yoda not have a desire to help anyone.
Yeah. And of course, that it comes full circle to what I always say: your relationship with Yoda and largely the Jedi Order is what you bring to it, right? And so, like for Dooku's case, it's like he envisioned the worst case scenario, and in so doing, did not afford Yoda the chance to help him. And Yoda said he would have helped. But Dooku, foreseeing that Yoda would not help and would have taken a different course, brought about that course that he was trying to avoid. It's like if I had a vision of me, like, in a car accident on some street, and I avoided that street all the time because of it leading to it, I would have a sense of security that was wrought with falsehoods, because then I would be like, okay, looks like it's not gonna happen.
I'm safe today. I can't die today.
and then you know, without even noticing it, because I've stopped avoiding that street. Without even noticing it, I'll make a mistake, a stupid move, and turn onto that street, and then it'll happen. You know, the self-fulfilling prophecy.
I mean, but what's more than that is, to be a Jedi, you can't have, if he fears, if your vision is someone attacking you, and you're like, that means they turn to the dark side. And now you're afraid of that happening. So now you're looking at them with suspicion, with aggression. You're ready to fight them at a moment's notice. And now that's you going down the dark path. And as a Jedi, you can't have your actions driven by fear. And that's what living by these future visions does to you, is you're afraid of this thing happening. And the methods that you'll seek to avoid it happening, or to take down the person who you think is going to do it, are what can lead you down the dark side.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it was that Dooku didn't have any ill intent when he told this to the kid. Don't talk to Yoda. He didn't have any ill intent. He thought that would help. It just didn't.
Also, we know for a fact that Yoda wouldn't say that, because, Ahsoka shares with him her vision, and all Yoda says is like, you're gonna have to decide how you act with this information, because always in motion is the future, and we can't know what'll happen. You can't know the version of events that will lead to that.
I smell profit.
Cal4 super chatted a $2 ramen drop. Yoda love, Yoda respect, _Grogu _Elementward.
Hey, Cal4, thank you for the ramen drop. No, Yoda love and Yoda respect. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to turn it back on you. Appreciate the ramen drop. We'll be giving it back to you on your stream tonight. Like a Jedi historian said, let's see here. Oh no, I was talking about the vision with Ahsoka. Without knowing the sequence of events that leads to that vision, you can't possibly avoid it or bring it to fruition. You just have to kind of be alert and be aware. Self-awareness. And that's all Yoda says to her. There's not one instance where someone comes to him with a vision and he's just like, no, the vision is wrong. But he has a vision on Planet X. Oh, sorry, the Forest Planet, and he, people are like, he saw this vision. Why didn't he do anything? What's he going to do? He doesn't know what brings that about. He doesn't know if avoiding it will bring it about. So he just kind of goes along. Now, due to the nature of the story, yeah, he failed. He failed to avoid it. He failed to see it coming when it came. Although I would argue he didn't, because he he flipped around and killed
He
those
prepared for it.
clone troopers. But again, like vision doesn't afford you clarity of the future. It just kind of muddies the waters even more. That's why I wouldn't like foresight. I would like insight.
Yes.
And perception.
Well, that goes back to Qui-Gon. What makes Qui-Gon great is that he is attuned to the living force, to the here and the now. A direct quote from the comic is, "Always speaking to us, the force is, but do we choose to listen? So caught up in what was, what will be, we fail to notice what is here."
Yes. That's his eternal lesson all the time. We go back to Empire Strikes Back, his first lesson, even though he hadn't started training Luke at the time, his first lesson to Luke was always looking to the horizon. Never your mind on here. And then all the way to the Last Jedi.
Oh, where he was going, what he was doing. I love that scene.
And then all the way to the Last Jedi is like, oh, Skywalker, always looking to the horizon. Never here. The need in front of your nose. And he goes, boop. My back scratcher is the Guyver stick. But yeah, it's all about living in the moment. You kind of have to roll with the punches and dodge them as best you can, but you're never going to know when they're coming, because then, like, let's say I step up to Choco like this, and he sees that I'm gonna punch him with my right cross, and he goes like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then I'm going to punch where he is. So you can totally telegraph that something's coming, but then, like, if you try to avoid it too early, then you're not going to avoid it. So it's kind of just like, know what's going to happen, but when, how...
You saying that makes me think of, like... Yeah, this is some of a tangent, but, like... The people who just spend hours and hours yelling about the Holdo maneuver of, like, well, now they could just do that and wipe out all the fleets, and you're like, you don't think they would just change their formation so it wouldn't, like,
they addressed it right then and there, like, take down that ship. It's like, yeah, as soon as that strategy happens, everyone's just gonna shoot down ships.
Yeah, like, you think there's never gonna be a counter strategy ever? I don't know, it's just stupid.
Jedi Historian says, I always liked how Ahsoka explained Yoda to Ezra. Do you remember what her words were about Yoda to Ezra?
He's a kind of little man, and you kiss him and he tastes like a peanut. I don't remember.
That sounds legit. DePaul said...
It's actually a Simpsons quote. For Mole Man.
Cal said, I always hate when people rag on Yoda because of Anakin. It's like, dude, come on, you can't help someone who doesn't want help. Exactly. DePaul says, Force visions are like quicksand. The more you resist it and try to fight it, the deeper it consumes you and chokes you until you see the dark side of that sand. See what I did there? Oh, yeah. Legacy of Naboo says, though the future is indeed uncertain and ever-changing, it may be that certain... Oh, sorry, okay. Let me do this. Though the future is indeed uncertain and ever-changing, it may be that certain events are fixed once those making the proper decisions have committed themselves to that path. I forgot not everyone.
It's a good one.
That Yoda quote and whole scene in TLJ is goated for sure. Unrelated, but I got sushi on the way. I'm gonna cry. I'm so happy.
I'm so happy for you. Sushi's good, but, like, yeah, Cal loves sushi.
Twitch.tv/Cal loves sushi. Go check him out.
Yeah. He eats sushi into a mic, and it's ASMR, and yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite food. All right, real quick for the chat. If you love sushi, what are your top 3 choices?
What? No.
Choco, go first. What are your top 3 choices? Like, you're at the sushi bar, and the chef is like, So what is the first three things that you order?
Oh man, first three things is it's hard to say. Okay, so there was a sushi bar that we would always go to, and we had a certain guy, his name was Sumi. It came from Japan, and he would just make us stuff. We'd always tip him really well, and so he would always just be like, "There's this, and it's what is this?" And we're like, it's the Brandon special. Like, he knew our names, and he would just say that, and that was always the best stuff. Cal says unagi eel is probably my favorite. I love me some eel.
That's a diet thing right there.
To me, it just depends on what I'm feeling, and I mean, you can't go wrong with with fresh tuna, or dragon rolls are good. I don't do much. Anything with crab is good. I don't do a lot of I don't do any like fried rolls either or anything like that. But I don't know. I like to mix it up.
I don't typically do rolls per se. Whenever I go to sushi bars, always nigiri. It's just like the simple, vinegary rice with the fresh fish. It's just simple, plain. My first thing would be unagi for sure. That is my absolute favorite. But then I would just get shake or salmon nigiri, some fatty salmon too, salmon belly. It just melts in your mouth. It's like Wagyu.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to kind of like make things lighthearted and just to get a slice of youth, I like to get tamago. It's just some rice and eggs on top, sweet eggs. Gotta love the Japanese folded eggs.
Yeah, those are always delicious. I always get some seaweed salad on the side.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as simple as it is, salmon, more fatty salmon, unagi, and some tamago. Ooh, you know what? I just remembered. Never mind. Tamago would be fourth. I think three would have to be uni.
Okay.
But no one's ever had sea urchin before. You should try it, especially if it's really, really fresh.
I just want to check something really quick though, for diet purposes. Is this the same? Okay, no, yours is a lot better than mine.
What do you mean?
All right. I refuse to eat any any spiky skin creatures. That would be interesting to have sushi with someone who knows as much about sea creatures and stuff as Young. Don't know if it'd be a good thing. I think it would limit my sushi.
I don't know. What is an echinoderm?
It's spiky skin is what I translate it to. So Choco, you have the white one and Pep has the black one now?
Radial symmetry, starfish, brittle star, sea urchin, sand
it's
dollars,
gray.
sea cucumber, sea lilies. Oh. Okay. Well, I like I like I like uni. I like sea cucumbers only for the fact that I come from the Philippines and there's a lot of whenever we go to the islands, like there's an overabundance of sea cucumbers. But
all I know about sea cucumbers is there's a little fish that swims backwards up its anus and hangs out in there.
Yeah. We clean it though.
It's it's a true story. Yeah.
But it'll always be salmon and unagi for me. Eel and
Lucky fish.
it'll always be salmon and unagi. And if the more fat you can put onto that salmon, the better. I'm kind of indifferent with tuna. I'll eat tuna, but it's not like the most flavorful nigiri for me. Let's see whatever does anybody
Yeah, what do you guys like? More people. Put what you like in the chat.
So Choco, you have the white one and Pep has the black one now?
He's talking about the black back scratchers, but mine is gray.
Jedi.
It's gray, so I imagine it's a little Markion row hand. Just whenever I need them.
I was only half paying attention now. Oh, we're talking about sushi.
Oh no, she perked up when I said when I mentioned about the little fish that swims backwards up a sea cucumber's anus.
Where did these back scratchers come from? This one came from Amazon.
Yeah. Same.
Did I say that right, Young? Echinoderm, or is it echinoderm? Echinodermata phylum.
All right, X-Core. Always great to see you, though. You should come on soon, sometime.
I don't think X-Core is leaving. DePaul is though. Going to watch Inside Out with the family. Take care. Have fun, DePaul.
I saw later, brother, but he was talking to my bad.
Between kosher and shellfish allergy, no sushi for Ellie. Aw. Well, that's understandable, right? We can't get around fish allergies.
That's so my father is allergic to shellfish and loves it. But still, and so that's why growing up there was a lot that I didn't have. So now I do kind of go crazy when the opportunity strikes. X-Core, please tell us about the PC that you're building.
Also, Ilyana, if you can elaborate a little bit further on what is kosher and how that flies in the face of, I guess, sushi.
I think it's more that a lot of sushi restaurants have the food will be mixed, and so you don't want to cross-contaminate with non-kosher items.
I don't know that they would be mixed. A lot of the fresh fish rest on ice, and then there's just the rice. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of kosher and you know how food should be prepared for it to be determined as kosher.
And
it needs fins and scales, so you need to eat the fish whole then.
it has to be a fish with fins and scales. So I think that'd be no eel.
Oh, then.
And sorry, go ahead.
Could you eat salmon?
Yes. Some shellfish are bottom feeders. And then, like, I wonder how that works as well with, I mean, obviously you don't eat koi fish, but, like, some have scales and some don't. I know way too much about koi. But, like, a Doitsu Shiro Utsuri would not have scales.
Lothal says you should go to the fish market in Japan.
Absolutely.
If I can convince everybody to wake up at 4 a.m., we will go to the Tsukiji market and just look at like 2-ton tunas being sold.
Let's see. Ryzen 77X. Okay. X radio.
I wonder if it might also be due to the brine used to cure things, though. They don't cure. They don't cure any fresh fish. The only curing or fermenting that I could see is the vinegar that goes into the rice.
I don't know anything about that GPU, but it looks spicy.
7900 XT. Yeah, that's their latest. That's AMD's latest one.
Nice. That's almost my GPU. Nice. Okay.
The 7900 would be equivalent to a 4080, actually. The XTX would be a 4080, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to upgrade GPUs fairly soon, but we live in for now. That'll be my next big one.
In terms of like,
I got breathing room for now.
Yeah, in terms of taking advantage of like Ansel and like DLSS and all the stuff that comes with the RTX chipset. Yes, but at the same time, you're on. Even though your architecture is older, it is still a 1070, I think, right?
Yeah.
So it's still fairly capable for 1080p and 1440 gaming.
Oh yeah. I just mean like where I'm at the next. It will become my next bottleneck. But for now, I have breathing room.
Yeah, I have a 3070, which is basically what you have, but with DLSS and ray tracing. Even though I don't use that stuff.
So, with regards to the Yoda comic, the only thing we haven't touched on was the first arc. So we can talk about that, and then maybe get some Pictionary going while we talk about our ice creams. What do you say?
I'm a little tired. Why don't you go for it? I'm just kidding. Favorite ice cream flavors. I mean, listen. You may have problems with me, but I like vanilla and coffee. Not vanilla and coffee at the same time, but I'll get a vanilla and then I'll get a coffee. And then due to my, depending on my mood that day, I'll go for either one. But I typically, so me and Cal talked about this last night, and we were talking about cookies, and it comes down to flavor over toppings, right? And for me, cookies and ice cream being
also toss in your favorite cookie.
Yeah,
everyone.
For me, cookies and ice cream are much the same in preference. I prefer the flavor of the ice cream and the flavor of the cookies. So I'll like Biscoffs, shortbreads, and sugar cookies. And I'll eat chocolate chips too, but like my preference over toppings is some people go overboard and some people go underboard. So you'll have a chocolate chip cookie with like 3 chips in it, or you'll have a chocolate chip cookie with like 20 on it, and you're like, holy crap, that's a lot. And so like I prefer cookies that have an inherent flavor that comes with it. And so when it comes to ice cream, I typically don't go for the ones that need the toppings, like the cookies and cream and like the chocolate chips and I like vanilla, coffee, green tea, matcha ice cream.
Love matcha.
And that's it. I'll eat cookies and cream if it's there. I'll eat pistachio if it's there, but like again, it all that stuff kind of falls to how much they put in there and how much of it you can get. Like, it's just like the Oreo flavor. It's like sometimes you can get a spoonful of no Oreos in it and it's just cream.
You know what though? I mean, I'm on a similar boat, but maybe not as far along on that boat, right? So my favorite is butter pecan, and I just love that ice cream flavor. You know what I mean? I don't care if there's any pecans in it or not, if I get any in my spoon or not. That doesn't make or break it. And it's funny because, like, so you probably just think I'm just the worst because I'm the guy who likes pineapple on pizza. My favorite cookie is oatmeal raisin. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff people just typically love. It's just not me. Cookies and cream is okay, but it's not my preference, and I hate mint chocolate chip. I hate it. I don't think mint and chocolate work together well. Personally, it just doesn't work for me. But that's like whenever my wife goes and buys ice cream, it's cookies and cream or mint chip, and then I'll buy ice cream. I'll get butter pecan. And she will eat butter pecan while there is both mint chocolate chip and cookies and cream in there. It's like she's purposely trying to block me out. Yeah. She's like, well, I know he won't.
Cal said, 1 second, we'll go back. Cal said cookies and cream for me, or good classic vanilla, like a strawberry. I love strawberry shortcake as well. Marianne said cookies and cream. A legit vanilla bean ice cream is goated for sure. Chocolate chip cookie for Marianne. White chip macadamia with craisins or with raisins. Is craisin a thing?
Craisin, cranberry raisin. Yeah, I mean craisin's a brand that does them, but yeah.
Half baked from Ben and Jerry's.
It's tasty.
I like sorbet as well.
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a different one. Do you like gelato?
Yes.
Okay. Oatmeal raisin. See, again, it comes to the toppings for me. I like oatmeal cookies.
I love oatmeal cookies. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. And so, like, again, the amount of raisins is not the game changer for me.
And pineapple does belong on pizza with jalapenos, bacon, ham, pepperoni. Listen.
Pepperoni, pineapple, and jalapeno is my favorite pizza.
It has to be a white sauce for me. It has to be a Hawaiian pizza. I can't have it on classic San Marzano pizza sauce. That's just me.
Pineapple and hot cheese do not mix. You've never put like a grilled pineapple ring on a burger? Man.
Yeah, I mean I will never have pineapple on a classic pizza. I will have pineapple on a white sauce pizza that is specifically not of a classic pizza variety.
That's fair.
So
more for me.
I mean, see, it is nuanced for me. I will never say like never pineapple, but like it's certainly a mixture of flavors for me that works.
And so that's what it is to me. I don't have any rules of like this doesn't belong on that or that does belong on this. It's a specific type of sweet mixed with with the saltiness of pepperoni and with a little bit of spice from my jalapeno together works. I'm about specific flavors adding together and specific textures working with each other. So like if I'm cooking something and I'm like, this lacks something to give it a broad mouthfeel, there's like several things that I could put in it to bring that piece that's missing in. Some will work better than others, but for me, that's what it is. It's
Jared Entertains got some clear lines. Pineapple sucks. Get it away from pizza. Cal will split that pizza with you.
yes, me and you, Cal.
And that's the
Just
that's the
for
thing,
you,
man.
Young. I'm gonna get like a pineapple spear and just melt cheese on it and just eat that bad boy.
And that's the thing, Young. Typically when I order pineapple with a white sauce, there's no cheese on it. It's actually pretty simply a pineapple, ham, and white sauce pizza, which is, I wouldn't call a pizza at that point. It would just be like pineapple, ham, white sauce
on bread. Yeah. Which is also delicious. But like, yeah, I also don't, I think those are weird rules for cheese because it depends on the type of cheese and how it's prepared. And I used to hang out with my local cheese guy at my Whole Foods up in Roseville and, pair all type of good stuff. Buffalo chicken pizza is delicious as long as you keep ranch away from it. For me, no ranch.
Isn't it just cheese? Young says, not necessarily. I know a lot of white sauces is made with Parmesan cheese, but that's to give it its kind of consistency. But it is just, I never think of Alfredo sauce as a cheese. That's why like you always add more cheese on top of like an Alfredo, It's different. It's not pizza on cheese. It's just the flavor is a cheese sauce, but it's not like the mozzarella that is consistency that you would find on a regular pizza with Marzano red sauce, tomato sauce. Buffalo chicken good on its own. Pineapple and spicy salty meats is delicious on its own. On pizza is good too. I'll be real with you, Choco. I used to love ranch, but over the past like 5 years, I really don't like it anymore. Give me Caesar any day.
Respect. Yeah, I will use either Caesar dressing or blue cheese in place of ranch, depending on what it is. I think Aussie pizza is a lot less cheesy than American pizza from what I've seen. I don't even know what classifies as American pizza because like our pizza also still varies wildly from place to place. But you are right in one thing. If it is pizza that's extremely cheesy, like I'm talking you pull it and it's stretching and all that stuff, like you see in a Ninja Turtles cartoon, then no, I don't put pineapple on that type. Just depends.
I'm preferential to the Japanese ginger dressing in their salads. Like you ever go to a classic Japanese restaurant and you have your miso soup and your salad bowl before the entree comes out. That salad it's ginger, onion, vinegar, sugar, And I think that's it. Sometimes they put soy sauce in there too, but it's a very light, and it's not really a dressing, more as like a wet coating.
Yeah. New York for Chicago. So here's how I feel. Like Chicago, like deep dish, isn't really pizza. Like it's its own thing, and
Some
it's
people
delicious.
call it a pie.
It's delicious, and I love it. But I don't see the feud between the two because if they don't feel like the same thing. I feel to me it's the same thing as comparing like a gyro with tacos, and you're like, yeah, they're not. It's not apples to apples.
I would call. See, now that's the.
Is it a sandwich? Yes.
That's the confusing nature of it all, right? I would call a Chicago deep dish a pie, but then you would also call pizzas pies because, like, when you order from a pizza place, you say, I would like a 24-inch pie.
It's best described as a pizzagna. Okay, I like it. Yeah, I don't know. And this is also just me being a weird person. I don't. There's certain differentiators that I just don't understand as a person. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, people say like cats versus dogs, but like I don't see cats as being the opposite of a dog. That doesn't make any sense to me, and so like I don't know how to compare certain things, but it's because my brain is stupid.
As someone who grew up for a couple of years in the Bronx, I have a very strict guidelines for New York pizza. It has to flop 2 inches in and then be firm. And it has to be longer than 6 inches. So like you would have a 6-inch slice like this. 3 inches into it, it has to flop. And then when you fold it, the flop stays flop. That's a New York pizza.
You want the
to
flop
me.
to say flop? Okay.
Yeah, that's a New York pizza to me because as soon as you fold it and the flop stays there, that's your first bite, right? I am going for size criteria here, but that's because the flop needs to be a certain size. But I can't have a 3-inch flop on like a 3-inch pizza. That's just not a pizza at that point. That's like
that means you've been drinking too much.
floppy jizz. I didn't say jizz at all. None of us can have a 3-inch flop. Listen, we're talking about pizzas here. You guys are getting wild. I do like Sicilian pizza too. You know what? That's my guilty pleasure. When I get. Oh, you know what I like? That's a guilty pleasure. Little Caesars. Square. Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of halfway there to a Chicago deep dish, but it's also kind of just a...
Man, I remember when I first moved to Portland and I was super poor, and I was working at 24 Hour Fitness. I was actually in great shape then because all I ate were boxes of like at 24 Hour Fitness, they did samples of multigrain Cheerios in the little boxes, and I had boxes of those little boxes. So that, and then every now and then there was a Domino's near me, and they had their $5 pizzas. And then I would go to the grocery store next door, get some more toppings to toss on it. But you know what was amazing? I would get their pizza with chicken, and then they had like a pineapple jalapeno, like a pineapple habanero sandwich sauce, and I'd have them put that on my pizza instead. and then I get like red onions and stuff, and then other toppings and put it on there, and I'd eat that whole pizza in one sitting, and it was fantastic.
You know, for all this pizza talk, we haven't talked about toppings. I mean, we've talked about pineapple, but what's everybody's go-to, like every pizza night? You gotta have that one pizza that has that one topping.
Well, let's bring everyone in for Pictionary, and we can keep talking about it.
Let's do that. Marianne, Young, Cal, anybody wanna call in and play some Pictionary with us? I'll start first. It's always got to be pepperoni on that first pie. On my second pie, there's got to be some mushrooms on there too. I love me some mushrooms.
Oh, so Young, you're just too bougie for us. Gotcha.
I like arugula. I mean, prosciutto.
Oh, so do I.
Is bougie though.
I just mean that's a bougie pizza. I mean, that is literally the last pizza I had. Was literally that, but it was still bougie.
X-Core, that's a great one too. Sometimes I'll get pepperoni and sometimes I'll get pepperoni and bacon. I just love that mix, but I also love mushrooms too. So sometimes I will get pepperoni, bacon, and mushroom. Cal says his favorite pizza is a white sauce pizza. Philly steak. Oh, so some shaved steak on top of a white sauce pizza. Grilled onions and peppers. Okay.
Huh. I've never had that as a pizza. But it sounds delicious.
For Young, that pizza was so bougie that she had to correct the spelling of prosciutto.
Also, I mean, Young would hate this, but that particular pizza works fantastic with sliced pear. But whatever.
I'm not very particular with pears. Or rather, I don't know. Pears to me don't impart the most flavorful profile. You know what I would like to try? I would like to try peach. Peach and bacon.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Cause I'm not wearing a shirt. And have my hair in pigtails as a gaff. So I shan't be joining the stream. Okay.
Are you okay, Kitty?
Yeah, yeah. Let me talk to you. You guys are gonna have to call in now. Garlic.io.
Your cat has flopped. Yeah. It's weird. Are you okay? Okay. All right, let go. All right, just flopping off. You can chill here. Chill down here. I just like while I'm working, he'll sit like he's sitting like a person on my left leg while I hold him like a toddler.
I had that pizza at the premiere for Captain Marvel, actually. I can't, for the life of me, eat pizza.
I'm gonna need more to that sentence.
At watching a movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, that also brings up the next question. What's the best movie snack?
nachos. So the link to the Pictionary is in the chat.
Personally, I have two different movie snacks. One for at home, one for in general. If I'm at home, I don't know why, pot stickers. They're just so good for movies. But other than that, I get a big thing of peanut M&Ms. Just dump that into my popcorn. Sometimes it's just popcorn. Sometimes you get a peanut M&M in there. You get some sweetness with that salty. It mixes it up.
I actually, you know what? I actually do nachos with salsa instead, which seems kind of blasphemous, but if I'm eating nachos and cheese, I have to be able to see myself. I'm just gonna walk out the movie theater after the movie's done. I got all cheese all over my shit.
Yeah.
And so salsa is a little bit cleaner in that regard. I like to do nachos and salsa during a movie. I don't eat any snacks anymore. Like I don't like candies. So I'll do.
Yeah.
So if
We got Ellie.
if I'm particularly hungry and I didn't eat anything and I went to a movie, I would get the hot dog because movie hot dogs are just nostalgic. Then I'll get nachos and possibly like a small popcorn because the nachos never last past Nicole Kidman. And yeah, that's it. I've had chicken fingers at one point, but again, like pizza to me is it's just like nacho cheese sauce. Like I gotta see what I'm eating.
Yeah. Eliana, did we lose her?
Eliana's
Okay.
back. If anybody wants to call in and talk about stuff while we're playing Pictionary, you guys are more than welcome to. The game is certainly more fun when you guys join in. So let's actually put this out here right now. I actually forgot that. I didn't put that in there. I'll call, but I'll be doing dishes. Hey, you do you.
Yeah, he just put in the link to call.
Choco, what are you doing next Friday?
What is up, Malik? Hey, Malik, I don't know if you can see the links in the chat, but you feel free to join us for some Pictionary.
I was thinking of doing maybe a movie and Korean barbecue.
I've actually been craving Korean barbecue.
Do you want to play? You know any good places down there, especially places with a lot of Korean barbecue here doesn't serve leafy greens to wrap.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't know a lot of good places near me here in Oceanside. There's a lot in San Diego that we used to go to, but...
Hello, Eliana.
Hey y'all, how are you?
Okay, good. We can hear you.
Okay.
We're doing good.
Thank God.
If
I'm green, I'm sorry. It's been a day.
fortunately, you're not. Xcore says if I wasn't doing my PC, I would call, and now I have to deal with wires. That's fine.
Have y'all tried Korean fried chicken? Yeah. Listen, if you ain't double frying, I don't know what you're doing.
If you haven't had Korean fried chicken before, and I make a mean batch, but if you've never had it from a Korean place, You are missing out. That's some of the best fried chicken ever. I remember an episode of Guga Foods where someone asked him to try Japanese fried chicken, and he was like, "Where's this been my whole life?" It's like, Japan. It was certainly not at Popeyes or KFC, although I love Popeyes. It looks like Ileana's the only one calling in.
That's wild. I don't think I've actually had Korean fried chicken, now that I think about it.
Marianne, you still there? You gonna call in? You gonna join Ileana? It's a must. I mean, if you like fried chicken, like the batter on Korean fried chicken is crispy. It'll like, and then of course juicy.
I don't know. We just didn't have a lot of places like that growing up. Yeah. We just didn't have a lot of like places that weren't like Italian, American, Chinese when I grew up. It's different at home now, but 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Understandable. We only have Ileana, which is not a bad thing, but I thought everybody wanted to play Pictionary.
Yeah, seemed like a good thing to do.
It's okay. I have the personality of multiple people.
This is true.
I don't even know what to say to that.
There's Ellie, there's Ileana, and there's L'chaim, y'all. Malik's currently at Subway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't we go ahead and get started, and we'll just keep talking to chat. Even if you guys didn't want to play, feel free to call in if you would like, and we'll just keep hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, I know how to draw this one already. I think.
So yeah, this might be a little bit difficult that I have more people to guess my terrible drawings.
Oh. Okay.
But I will say, in San Diego, we lived right next to a right next to like 3 Asian markets, and it was fantastic.
I'm grateful to be. Man, I watched Joyride recently, and
Oh, how was it?
it was a great movie. But like one of the lines, so the lawyer is trying to be all PC and woke, and he's like, and he's playing a game with a woman on the sport on the doing a sport, and he was like, "Man, you beat me horribly. It's pretty good for." And then like a couple of
What, Choco?
that looks like Grievous, right? Am I saying the answers?
Oh.
Sorry. So he says, "Wow, you're pretty good for," and then like a couple of other lawyers in the back said, "Woman," and then he said, "No, I was going to say associate. That's insensitive." And then he goes, "I'm sorry. Is that insensitive?" And then the woman's like, "No, you're fine. You're fine." And then he's like, "I try to be an ally. I shop at 99 Ranch Market." And what brought on that thought was because I was like, I'm super fortunate to live next to an H Mart, a Mitsuwa, and a 99 Ranch Market, and a Cali Mart, which is basically all of Asia.
Yeah, we were right in between all three of them. I don't know what Calamart is though.
That's like deep Chinese.
Oh,
I should get this one. No?
that's good.
What? Oh. Nice.
It's blurred.
It looks like a dewback at first.
So what? I mean, the main reason I shop there is stuff is cheap. You
Fair
know what I
enough.
mean? It's cheap
Fair
and
enough.
it's good. You know. So it's not about shopping there. It's about the opposite, which is what I like to call the white people tax.
Ah, yes, the special tax just for me.
No. Oh, so there are restaurants. There are like stores and stuff like that that are just more expensive, and it feels like the reason they're more expensive
Yeah.
is to dissuade other peoples
There
from
are.
shopping there. So we call that the white people tax.
I could see that. I think there's a lot of places that are just super expensive and terrible. The one place that is surprisingly inexpensive that I would think is like super stereotypically white is Trader Joe's. At least here, it's like by far the, like I was able to get eggs for like $2 a dozen, which is crazy cheap here.
Yeah. But I mean, but it stands to reason that Trader Joe's is the opposite of that, because the whole premise is we found foods from other cultures
Yeah.
and repackaged them. I do love me some Trader Joe's though.
Fair enough.
It's also where you can pick up some $2 chuck.
I prefer Sprouts.
Gotta love that $2 chuck.
Is this just okay? Well, we getting some straightforward.
Never seen one of. I've
answers.
heard of it, but I don't know if we have those here. I've never seen one. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means I've never seen it.
Seen a Sprouts?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I
It's
get
like one
my
of those
fruits.
things where it's like it's like I'm aware of its existence.
Oh, okay. At first, I thought it was fallopian tubes. Hey, and we got a cow.
We do got a cow.
Come on, Ellie. What was Thrawn's project?
Cow joined and got it.
Cal's here.
I thought he said still eating cooch. But
I don't even know what this is. Okay. I'm about to feel real. Oh, goodness gracious. I feel really stupid.
It was.
he wishes. Okay. Want to eat that Gith Yankee cooch? If you don't know.
That was unexpected. I Wow. Okay.
Going back to my initial question, Choco. Gran Turismo.
It's about.
Oh, you're drawing right now. I thought,
Yeah.
is that a get the Gooch? The hell? Oh.
Got it.
Huh?
It's a species.
Oh.
But I know he just looks like a camel, like a deformed camel guy. So I'm very sorry.
It looks like a Brainiac version of Among Us character.
It was. Yeah. Oh.
I'm
Okay.
playing with.
I know you.
The guy, the thinker, right? Is that the guy with the big head?
Wait, from what?
I don't know. It's an animated thing. It's an animated guy. I forget the name.
Ribbon.
How did Cal get that?
She subscribed to the Dyad.
Thanks for subscribing, darling.
There we go.
It's not a term of endearment. That was your name.
Okay. So I totally thought that was someone's hair in their face, not the shape of a head.
But Choco, next Friday, Gran Turismo and Korean barbecue.
I'll have to check with the missus, because I think she wanted to see Gran Turismo tonight.
Oh, really? We can
Yeah.
do another movie. That's just one of my suggestions.
Oh yeah. Dead mouse?
No, that is definitely that. I was thinking of
Look at it.
I was thinking of inviting Hazel for making me a Yoda cap.
Yeah. No, I gathered.
What you said? There's no other reason for me to go to San Diego.
Oh no. My first thought was like, oh yeah, and we can invite Hazel, and I was like, oh yeah, he probably thought of that already.
I knew Cal would. I'm not drawing anything other than simple primitives.
What?
Come
Oh.
on. Yeah, it took.
I know what it is, but let's see if I can figure out how to spell
on
it.
a surfboard. X4 Gamer Skills is asking if you're having a stream tonight.
Cal. Are you saying I'm simple and primitive? No, I'm saying I'm just drawing simple, primitive geometries for the Calicori, just the squares and triangles.
There we go again, Choco.
Wow, that's a small one. Yes. Darkness. When you filled in the entire screen, I was gonna type Hunger of Hadar. We should do a D&D cheat of Pictionary. See if we can get it. We should get together with Cal and do a D&D or Baldur's Gate Pictionary.
How is it not? What?
Oh,
I keep saying I'm close, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
both of them. Also, when did Vader fight
Like,
Shark T?
I mean,
Yeah,
which
yes, it was-
time? Which time did Vader fight Shakti?
versus Vader.
Which
Yeah.
version? I feel like Shakti is a woman of many deaths.
No, it was
Oh.
Ahsoka versus Vader. All right. Well, a very quick game, as it were. A very quick
game
episode.
for a chill night and hanging out with some cool peoples.
Yeah. Thank you, Ileana, for being our only caller. Always appreciate you. Do you have anything to say about
Thanks for having me,
what we've
as always.
talked about today? You know, cookies, ice cream, pizza, anything that's on your mind.
And what's the best thing that you make if you cook anything at all?
Yeah, I like pizza. I like cookies. I like ice cream.
Wait, is this the Homer Simpson song?
I actually do cook quite a bit. I make a lemon pasta that a lot of people seem to like. But I make a really good brownie.
Hey, see, that goes towards my sensibilities. All the flavor in there. Don't gotta worry about toppings.
I'm
Now,
actually-
mind you, again, this is preference.
Yeah.
I will eat a chocolate chip. I will eat oatmeal raisin. I will eat things with toppings, but I prefer the whole flavor be part of it and not worry about toppings.
So Cal says a
Okay,
good
Cal,
brownie.
for the record, so I don't lose my job, not that kind of brownie.
Yeah, for legal reasons, these are legal brownies.
No, not that kind of brownie, just for the record. Yeah.
Absolutely.
X-Core says, speaking of cooking, my wife got me a
Yeah,
Blackstone
no,
when
as
we moved.
somebody who,
It is my
is
favorite
in and
thing
out of the
ever.
security industry.
Yeah.
No.
Blackstone, is that like a pizza oven? Or smoker? Do you know?
I thought it was a pizza oven. I'm pretty sure he's posted videos of it, but then now we say it, it also feels like it might be a grill, like how like a diner has a Blackstone like grill where you just can put whatever on there. Okay, yeah, cast iron griddle that runs on propane. I wish I had one of those because it would make cooking so much easier to not have to worry about like specific things go here and there, and I envy that.
I've actually been looking for a teppanyaki that can go over a stovetop. Because I find myself every time like you know, my brother and the kids are over and we cook a bunch of burgers, I always gotta have like 2 cast iron skillets for 2 burgers, and if it's bigger, 1 burger each. So it's like I'd like to have a flat top on over the stove.
Ooh.
To cook them all.
Okay, yeah. X-Core just sent me a picture of it, and it's the outdoor ones that it looks. It's exactly what I was picturing. Like literally the best thing to cook any sort of breakfast on. Because it's all just right there, you know.
Before we wrap before we wrap the show up, this episode, we do want to give a shout out to the Far Far Away Factory. They are doing a collaboration with Star Wars lawyer. There Are More of Us.
Hey.
For There Are More of Us t-shirts, of course, a percentage of those sales will go towards supporting the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strike. So head on over to farfarawayfactory.com or etsy.com/farfarawayfactory and show your support for the unions. But yeah, I think that'll be a good fun, even though these short and sweet, simple, open forum episodes still, you know, intentionally is supposed to be one of our shorter episodes, but the conversations are still so good that they end up going past our minimum hour and a half.
Listen, I love cooking. I love eating. I could talk food all day, so.
Ileana, we'll give you the final word before we wrap up. Anything you want to say?
Yeah. No, not really. I'm good. I'm exhausted. I was at a convention all day as a Jawa, and I didn't drink enough water. So
Well, here's me pressing the
I'm
hydrate
ready to go to
button.
bed.
Okay. You've sent me the picture as well. That is a fantastic thing. Definitely gonna look into one of those.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
Xcore, DM me how much that goes for, because I actually would love, like, I would love one of those. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode of Dyad in the Forest. I hope everybody had a blast just talking some weird, just off the cuff stuff with cooking and all that good stuff. We'll probably hold more of these more often.
Now, that being said, next week, we will be getting, from a certain point of view, Return of the Jedi coming out. Highly encourage people to pick it up and jump into it. Also, the Star Wars comics are still kicking butt. Dark Droids just came out, and you'll definitely want to hop in on that as well. And over here, we're going to be talking about that type of stuff a lot. So, yeah, please check it out.
Absolutely. And don't forget to stay tuned.
I'm so excited for that book.
Stay tuned for a future introduction of another segment akin to the Mix-Up, which is where we talk about anime or cartoons or games, whichever one we choose to talk about. We are going to be doing premiering Dyads and Dragons, which is our segment for D&D for Choco and I. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out in the coming weeks. But yeah, I can't wait. We've had our characters for a while, and they've wanted to get back in there and roll the die. But that's it. That's it.
Yes, that's it. For Light and for Life.
We're all the Dyad.
And may the Force be with you, and pineapple be on all of your pizzas. Have a good one.
Good night.